Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa the Geek, where I will be fighting a 125-point kill team game with commanders between my fallen Chaos Space Marines and Harris's Astra Militarum. So the story that we've got going on here is simply that the Fallen have arrived on this planet and have decided that this would be the ideal place to plan their further stratagems and further endeavors against the Imperium, as the Fallen are wont to do. The true aims of their actions, unbeknownst to anyone but themselves. But the Astra Militarum had a force deployed on this planet, and the decided to hold the ground for the Emperor, for the Imperium, and the Chaos Space Marines, the Fallen, have decided that that's unacceptable, and they still want this planet. So they found themselves in a pitched battle throughout this city. So we are zooming in on one small section of this fight as a squad of Chaos Space Marine of the Fallen here, led by an exalted champion and an aspiring champion. You can call them what they are. They're Chaos. Chaos coming up here against the Astra Militarum, led by a Lord Commissar. So that's the story that we've got going on here. We're going to be playing from the Commander's book, which was the mission? Hold the Line. So essentially, there are 4 objectives on the table here, in the dead center of each table quarter, or each map quarter, whatever you want to do, table quarter. And you get a point at the end of the game for each of those that you hold, and you get a point at the end of the game if you've killed your opponent's commander. So it should be interesting. So before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Heretical Astartes, my kill team will be from left to right here. We have an exalted champion as my commander. He will have a power axe and a plasma pistol. We have an aspiring champion who will be my leader with a power sword and a plasma pistol. We have a a Chaos Space Marine gunner with a plasma gun. He will be my sniper specialist. We have a Chaos Space Marine with a bolter who will be my demolitions expert. Chaos Space Marine who will be my combat specialist with a bolter, and then 2 other Chaos Space Marines with bolters. And then for the Astra Militarum from left to right here, we have a Lord Commissar with a power sword and bolt pistol who will be the commander. We have a sergeant here who is the leader with a bolt pistol and power sword. We have a sniper specialist with a plasma gun. We have a scout specialist with a flamer. We have a demolitions expert with a sniper rifle. We have 1 more gunner with a plasma gun, and then we have 12 regular guardsmen with las guns. All right, so those are the armies going over the deployment here. We've got regular plasma bro over this side. We've got his scout with the flamer down here. We've got the demolition sniper up top here. We've got the whole host of regular las gun dude bros being led heroically from the back by the Commissar, ready to put a bolt in the back of whoever runs away. We've got his leader over in this corner, and then we've got his sniper plasma guy. So we've got demolition sniper, sniper plasma. Makes sense. It makes sense. It works. Going over deployment now for the Chaos Space Marines, we've got the leader over on this side. We have a regular dude bro with a bolter. We've got the combat specialist with a bolter. We've got my demolitions expert up on top over here. We've got another regular dude bro with a bolter. We've got my exalted champion, so my commander over this side. And we have my sniper specialist with the plasma gun over on this side. So that is going to be it for deployment. We are now going to roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 1. My roll was a 7. I rolled a 6, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Astra Militarum. All right, so movement phase for the Astra Militarum here on turn 1. All this big blob of regular guys with las guns advanced up this direction towards my guys, hoping to do as the Astra Militarum do, which is clog my guns with their bodies. So as they run up over this way, the Commissar bravely leading from the side now as he advanced as well over this way. Both his commander and the sergeant, right? Yeah. Both the sergeant and his sniper specialist readied themselves. So did his demolitions expert, as did his other plasma guy over here. His scout specialist advanced up over this way. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Astra Militarum. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines. All right, movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines here. My regular guy down here readied himself. My demolitions expert moved up here, as did my other regular dude bro here. My sniper specialist moved up over this way. And now we're going to have some charges. We're going to start with my commander, who's going to charge around the corner into his scout specialist over here. There's no line of sight over there, so we're just going to do that charge distance now. 7 inches, we'll get him in. All right, so now my leader is going to charge into the Lord Commissar over here. Bolt pistol from him. Overwatching. Nope, no hits there. So his charge distance will get him in. And then my combat specialist is going to charge into the front 2 guys over here.
I'm going to spend a CP on Grenadiers.
Okay, he's going to spend a CP on Grenadiers, which will allow them to throw grenades.
Both of them.
Both of them throw grenades in this one. So here we go.
So 2d6 frag.
2d6 frag. So it's going to be 5 total shots here. Yeah, sounds good. So these are going to be hitting on 6s. Getting 2 6s.
My dice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My dice don't do well. I don't know why you wanted to borrow mine. 5s to wound. Getting 1 wound. 3 up save. No, I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. And he's good, thankfully. And then his charge distance will be in. All right, so that is it for the movement phase. So into the shooting phase, who we're going to start with over here?
I'm a sniper.
We're going to start with the sniper, the demolition sniper. Yeah. Who is he going to shoot into?
Gonna shoot at your demolitions.
Into my demolitions dude bro over here. So he's going to have 1 shot. He is obscured, so he's going to be hitting on a 5, but he's definitely in half range.
Sniper ignores half range.
Does not. All right, so now my ready guy is going to fire. He's going to fire into the 2 guys behind that front line that got charged. So they're going to be obscured by the dude bros there. So I'm going to put 1 into each. Going to be hitting on 4s. So we'll start with the one on the left there, hitting on a 4. That is a hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. Regular save.
5.
No. Is he out of action? He is. And now the guy on the right. That is not a hit. All right, so now his sniper with the plasma there is going to fire into my demolitions expert up here. He's in half range, but he is obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots, hitting on 5s. He is going to supercharge. He is a sniper that rerolling 1. So rerolling 1s. All right, so no hits.
6.
So now his sergeant is going to fire into my guy up here. He's not in half range, obviously, and obscured, so hitting on a 6. No hit. And his sniper bro over here is going to, or not sniper bro, his plasma bro over here is going to fire into my regular bro up here. So 1 shot. That is not a hit. All right, so now my opponent is going to give the order to the middle guy over right over here. One of them over here. He's going to give it forwards for the Emperor, which allows them to move or advance and shoot with their weapons. He's also going to spend 2 CP for Sir Yes Sir, which allows all models within 3 inches of that guy to receive that same order. So it's going to have this guy over here is going to be shooting now into my guy over here. Yep. So he's within half range, but he is obscured. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 5s. No hits. All right, so now my demolitions bro is going to fire into his demolitions bro. So he's in rapid fire range there, and but he is obscured. So I'm going to be hitting on 4s. Getting no hits. So now another guy over here is going to fire into my guy back here. No hits. Nope. So now my guy up here is going to fire into his demolitions expert. Half range, but is obscured. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. Regular save. No, he doesn't. Is he out of action? On a 2, nope, he takes a flesh wound. Now the next guy is going to fire into me over here. That is 2 hits. That is 1 wound. But that is a save. All right, so now my dude bro over here with the sniper specialist with the plasma is going to fire into his guy up there. He's more than half range and he's obscured, so it's going to be hitting on a 5. Don't get to reroll 2s. All right, so now the rest of the guys over here are going to get to shoot into him. We're going to do it 1 at a time, though, because he can get multiple out of action rolls. Yeah. So here comes the first one. Is not going to hit. Second one is going to get a hit. That is going to get a wound.
Phil Faces betrayed you.
No, they have not. Woo!
All right.
Third guy. Not getting a hit. Fourth guy. Does get 1 hit. No. Does not get a wound. Fifth guy. Does get 2 hits. Does get 1 wound. But I make the save.
And the last guy.
And the last guy coming in here. Coming in hot. No. All right, so now my leader is going to attack into his Lord Commissar over there. I've got 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits, wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds with Filfacers. AP -3, so 5 up invul save. No, those 2 go through. What's his wounds? He's got 4 wounds, so he's down to 2. And now my combat specialist is going to put 1 attack into each of the guys here. So we'll go with the guy on the right there, hitting on a 3. That is a hit. That is not a wound. And then into the other guy. That is not a hit. All right, so now my commander is going to attack into his scout over here. I've got 4 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, so those are all hits. Wounding on 3s. All right, so that's 3 wounds. These are AP -2, so those go straight through, but only 1 injury roll because that's how it works. But he is out with a fill face. Now the Commissar is going to attack into my leader. He's going to have 3 attacks here, hitting on 2s. Where'd that go? All right, that's all hits there. Wounding on 5s. No wounds. And then the 2 guardsmen over here bravely facing off against the Chaos Space Marine. 1 gets a hit, but no wound. And that is the end of turn 1 here. So we have 1 leadership test that's taken here because he's got a flesh wound, leadership 6. 3 + 2 is 5. He is good to go. So that is going to be it for turn 1. We will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 2. 7 and 7. So try it again. 7 and 8. So my opponent will go first. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Astra Militarum here on turn 2.
Almost got order.
All right, movement phase here for the Astra Militarum. This guy is Dubro with the plasma gun moved around over this way. His demolitions expert readied himself. These 2 guys back over here readied themselves. His commissar stayed in combat. One of the guys that was in combat with my combat specialist fell back forward over here. And the other guys are now going to be charging. So who do you want to start with?
The first guy up front.
First guy, who's he going to charge into?
Your free guy.
Just into the free guy?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to fire Overwatch here. 2 shots hitting on 6s. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. Armor save. Yep. No, is he out of action? No, he just takes a flesh wound. His charge roll. 2 inches will not get him in. My opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll that whole thing. Getting 5 inches, probably get him in. Yeah. And now the next guy is going to charge into both of them over here. He is in. Next guy is going to declare all 3 at 10 inches. Next guy is going to declare all 3 as well. In with 8. And this guy back over here is now going to charge all 3. All right. All right, so now the front guy over here is going to declare all 3. And he's in. And now the next guy over here is in. The next guy's going to charge. He's in. And the last guy's going to charge as well.
Just this one.
Just into this guy over here. 7 inches, we'll probably get him in. All right, movement phase for the Chaos Space Marines. My leader staying locked in combat there, as is my combat specialist, as is my regular dude bro. Both my demolitions and my regular dude bro up here are going to ready themselves. My plasma sniper moved around over there, and my champion, exalted champion over here, moved over to this place. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so his sniper here is going to shoot into my plasma sniper over here. So he's going to have 1 shot. That is a hit, wounding on a 5.
3. Strength 4.
1 second.
Yeah.
All right, so now his sniper is going to be wounding me on strength 4, so wounding on 4s, except he's got demolitions, and he is obscured, which means wounding on 3s. 5s and 6s will do a mortal wound because it's +1 to the wound roll. That is going to be a mortal wound, so it just ends right there. Yep. So he's just going to take an out of action. On a 3, he takes a flesh wound. All right, so my demolitions expert is going to fire into his sniper specialist over here. It's going to be 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range. Hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 2 fill faces, that's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s because it's +1 to the wound roll because of demolitions. Getting 2 wounds, so 2 saves. Makes them both well done. And now he's going to try to return the favor with 2 shots. He is going to overcharge, hitting on 5s. Not getting to reroll that, just getting the 1 hit though. Wounding on a 2. That is a wound. AP -3, so I've got 1 6-up save. Show me that fill first. No, it doesn't go. So 2 damage. So, and he is out of action. Now my regular guy here is going to fire into his demolitions expert over there. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s, getting no hits. And now his sergeant is going to shoot his bolt pistol into my champion down here. So it's 1 shot, hitting on a 6 because he's more than half range and obscured, no hits. Now his plasma guy is going to shoot into my guy over here. So he's going to have 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 5s because he's obscured.
No overcharge.
No overcharge.
You're already flash wounded. So.
Yeah. Getting 1 hit. Getting 1 wound. Looking for a 6 up. Show me that full face. No. Goes through. Is he out of action? +1 to this.
+1, -1.
Yep, -1 because he's obscured.
So 4 up.
No, another flesh wound. And now my champion over here is going to fire with his plasma pistol into his leader over there. So it's going to be 1 shot hitting on a 5 because he's more than half range and he is obscured. With the fill face, he gets the hit, wounding on a 2. No, I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. Back into a 1. And the commissar is going to fire his bolt pistol into my leader over there. No, no hit there.
Force.
And then my plasma guy is going to fire into his plasma guy. I am -1 to hit because of the 2 flesh wounds, ignoring the first one because of transhuman physiology. So now I'm going to fire into him 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 4s because of that second flesh wound.
Plasma guy could be your plasma guy.
Ooh, double fill faces. He wants him dead. He's going to be wounding on 2s. Those are both wounds. Here we go. Is he out of action? No, of course he's not. All right, so my opponent is going to issue an order, fix bayonets to this guy right over there. He's also going to spend 2 command points on Sir Yes Sir, which will be all like a bunch of these guys down over here, plus these 2 guys over here. We'll be able to fight as if it's the fight phase. So we'll be doing that now. All right, so we're gonna have 4 attacks. 4 guys are gonna attack into my combat specialists over here. We're gonna do them all together, but they're only 1 attack each anyway. Yeah, so any of these we'll do a out of action.
4s and 5s.
4s and 5s. Nope, no hits there. 2 into this guy over here. That's gonna be 1 hit, no wound, and then 2 into this guy over here. Getting no hit. Oh, 1 hit, not 4. Sorry, and that is a wound. Looking for a 3-up armor save. Yeah, he good. All right, so now into the fight hammer Wrathface. I'm going to spend 2 CP for decisive strike, which will allow my leader here to hit into his commissar. So I'm going to have 2 attacks hitting on. These are going to be hitting on 2s. No, 3s. 3s. Hitting on 3s. All right, so it's 2 hits, but that 6 is death to the false emperor. I get
1 extra roll.
1 extra. 1 second. Yep. So we'll roll without a hit. I don't play chaos very often, so here we go. And he does. So nope, no hit there. So it's still just the 2. Wounding on 3s though. That is going to be 1 at AP -3, so 5 up invul. No, so he takes another wound down to 1. All right, so now all the guys that charge are going to go. So we're going to do the 3 over here into my leader. That's going to be 1 hit.
No,
that's not going to be a wound. And then we're going to have the 3 into this guy over here. That's going to be all hits. Really good.
Need that on my wound roll.
Getting 1 wound. Oh, don't get the save. I'm out of CP. Oh, but he takes a flesh wound. And then 3 into this guy over here. Getting 2 hits. Wound on 5s. Getting no wounds. No problem. And now into the regular part of the fight phase. His guy over here is going to attack into my guy. With a hit. With a wound. With a save. Woo! And now my combat specialist is going to activate. We're going to put 1 into the left guy there, 1 into the right guy back there. So first 1 into the left guy. That's a hit. Whoa. Falling off the table here. Still falling off the table like an idiot. That is a wound. No save. And he's out of action with a filfers. And then the next one to the back guy is a hit. Is not a wound. Now his commissar into my dude bro over here.
2s.
Hitting on 2s. That's all hits.
Those 5s on
wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds. AP -3, so 6 up saves. Show me those filfers. Not on the first one. Not on the second one. So 1 damage apiece. So is he out of action? He is not. And then into the flesh wounded guy back over here with him. That's a hit.
Death False Emperor as well.
Oh, Death to the False Emperor, so that's going to be 2 hits.
Well, roll 1 more, because it's a roll.
Yeah, that was a roll. So I rolled a second time. and it was another 6. Yeah, so 2 hits.
We're good. It works.
And then 2 wounds.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
5s.
No. +1 because he has a flesh wound. No, takes another flesh wound. All right, so that's the end of turn 2. Turn 2, man, this game's got brutal real quick. So I do have to roll to break because I've got 1, 2, 3 guys with flesh wounds and 1 guy out of action. So leadership 8. I am not broken, which is good, but I do have to take some nerve tests. Oh, I've got 1 guy out. So I don't think I can fail any of these leadership tests because I've got the 1 guy out of action. So I can't fail.
This guy could because of 2 flesh wounds.
This is the flesh wounds? Hold on a second. All right, so my guys are good because it's only out of action or shaken. So I've only got the 1 guy who's out of action. But we will now do some leadership tests. He has 3 guys out of action, 3 plus 6. He is shaken. This guy over here, 3 plus 3 is 6. He's good to go. This guy back here, 3 plus 3 minus 2, so 6 is he's out. No, but he's not. He's good to go. Group hug. Everybody's fine. He goes, shut up, get back in it. And he's like, okay. So he's the only one that will be shaken. So that is going to be it for turn 2 here. We'll now roll for see who has initiative on turn 3. With a 5, my opponent has a 3, so it will be to the chaos here on turn 3. All right, movement phase. All of my guys are going to stay in combat over here. My guy up here is going to ready. My sniper is going to ready. And then my commander down over in here is going to charge. He's going to declare his sergeant, the commissar, and the guardsman next to him, as well as these 2 guardsmen over here as targets. So we've got the bolt pistol from the sergeant. Not going to get a hit. So his charge distance, 6. Let's find out. All right, that did not get me in. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Into a 7. Ooh, I still don't think that's going to get me in. All right, so he did make it into combat with these 2 guys over here with that 7-inch charge. So now going into movement phase for the Astra Militarum, these guys stayed in combat. All of these guys stayed in combat. This sniper guy moved up over this way. He is shaken. He readied over here, as did his leader. And then this guy back here is going to charge into these 2 guys. So his charge distance is in.
Yeah.
All right, so into the shooting phase. At the beginning of the shooting phase, my opponent is going to give an order, voice of command, use that to give the order to this guy, fix bayonets, and he is going to spend 2 CP for Sir Yes Sir, so that everyone within 3 inches of him will also get that order. We looked up the order, like the order of operations when this stuff happens. So we know in the shooting phase, ready models get to go first, but looking at it with voice of command happens once per battle, once during the battle round. So it's the entire time here, he can choose it at one time, and it says that they fight immediately as though it is the fight phase. So we assume that he can just choose to do it at the top of the shooting phase. Makes sense to me. If you know anywhere where it says differently, we check the errata, we check the designer's commentary, check the main rulebook. Nothing seems to contradict this, and that seems to make the most sense to me that they can choose whenever they do it. So
it also probably won't affect any of your shooting models.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ready when you're in combat, so none of these guys could shoot first anyway. But at the same time, if you see something, let me know. If you know of like a rule somewhere that might contradict this, let us know in the comment below. All right, so here we go. So he's going to issue it to that guy, and then everyone within 3 inches will get to attack. So we're going to start with the guy he gave it to. Who are you going to give the attacks into? You can attack into either of those guys because you're within an inch.
Let me measure.
1 second.
That's fine.
All right, so now we're going to start over here. The 3 guys over here are going to go into the guy with the flesh wound. So we're going to go, there's attacks in there, hitting on 4s, getting 1 hit, but no wound. And then 2 guys into my other guy, getting 1 hit, not getting a wound. And then 2 guys get him over here. That is going to be 1 hit, but no wound. All right, so my guy over here, my sniper specialist, is going to fire into his plasma dude bro over there. So I'm going to have 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 4s because of the 2 flesh wounds on him. Getting 1 hit, re-rolling 1s because of the sniper specialist. Getting 2 hits, wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds, so it's going to go straight through. +1 to this because he has a flesh wound. And he is out of action. All right, so his leader over here was readied, but he doesn't have anyone that's within range and line of sight. So we're going to go to my second guy who's readied up here. He's going to fire into his sniper specialist. It's going to be 2 shots because he's in rapid fire range, but he is obscured, so it's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That is a wound. 5 up, save. No, is he out of action? He is. And then my leader is going to start us off in the regular shooting phase into the commissar over here with his plasma pistol, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. That is not a wound. I'm going to spend my command point on that. Oh, come on. Throwing dice all over the place. Into a wound, because it's strength 7, toughness 3. 5 up invul save. He's good. And now his commissar is going to hit me back with his bolt pistol. That is a hit. That is not a wound. So now my commander who charged here is going to go first. So he's going to put 2 attacks into each of these 2 back guys here. So we'll do the one that's closest to my opponent. So the farthest one away from me. Hitting on 2s. That is 1 hit. Death to the False Emperor. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s because it's strength 5 with the +1 because of the power axe. Okay. And then the 2 into the next guy. That's going to be 2 hits plus a Death to the False Emperor. Not going to be a hit there. So 2. That is going to be 1 wound. AP minus 2. That's just going to go straight through. 1 damage. Takes a flesh wound. And then his one guy that charged is going to go into my flesh wound guy over here. That is a hit. That is not a wound. All right, so I'm going to put both of my attacks into the commissar over here to start us off in the fight phase, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit, wounding on a 3. That is a wound with a fell first. 5 up invul save. Oh no, off the table. Oh, and he's good. All right, so now he's going to activate this guy into my flesh wounded guy. That is not a hit. And then my combat specialist is going to put 1 attack into this guy right here, and he's going to put 1 attack into the next guy next to him. So we're going to do 1 attack into the first one. Is a hit. That is a wound. Looking for a 5 up save, right? Regular save, 5 up. No, is he out of action? He is. And then the 1 attack into the other guy there. That's a hit. That is a wound with a fill face. Looking for a 5 up armor save. Ooh, he's good. Now the guy back here is going to attack into my flesh wounded guy. That is not a hit. And then my guy back here is going to attack into his flesh wounded guy. That is a hit with a fill face. Death to the False Emperor. Nope, not going to get on that one.
Just too loyal, Phil.
And that is a wound. That is not a save. +2 to this roll. Yeah, he's out. And now these 2 guys are going to go attack into him because I've got no more swings back. That's 1 hit. That is no wound.
My flesh
wounded guy into the flesh wounded guy.
5.
Not a 5. No hit. 3 regular attacks into my leader over there. That's going to get 1 hit. That's going to get 1 wound.
That's enough.
Oh, but a save. And now the commissar that won't die, attacking into my leader, getting all these hits. Getting 1 wound. 6 up armor save. Show me that, Phil, first. No. +1 to this roll because he's got a flesh wound. Oh, takes a second flesh wound. Gonna spend his last command point to re-roll that. 3 will do it. And that is the end of turn 3. So at the end of turn 3, we do have the morale phase. I do have 2 guys out. I have 2 guys with flesh wounds. So that is going to be 4 guys total that are either out with flesh wounds. So I do have to take a break test. On a 7, I'm good to go. My opponent now has to take a break test because he has the highest leadership on the table here. It's going to be a 9 with his commissar there, and he's good with a 7 as well. So we do have to take some tests to see if people are broken or are nervous, shaken. I have 2 guys out, so him is going to have 2 + 6. He is shaken. All right, and I don't have, and they shall know no fear. That's only a loyalist thing.
He knows lots of fear.
Yeah, he knows lots of fear, so he's going to be shaken. This guy over here is not going to be able to fail because he's got his friends. His friends got his back here. So the guy up here is going to have to take a test. So he's got 7 guys out. So on a 1, he'll be good. No, so he is going to be shaken. And the one guy down in here has 7 guys out. Plus, I think he's got 1 or 2 guys. Let's find out if it makes a difference. On a 5, it will not. So he will also be shaken. And that is going to be the end of the turn 3 here. So now let's roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 4. Getting a 7 to a 6. So we'll come back to you after the chaos turn move here on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the chaos here on turn 4. All these guys stayed in combat. He is shook, and this guy up here is going to ready himself. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for chaos. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Astra Militarum. Movement phase for the guard here. He readied himself. His leader is staying back over there. He is shook. These guys all stayed in combat / are shook. And now these guys are going to charge. So we're going to start with the Commissar into my Exalted Champion. Brave, brave sir, leading the way, gets it in.
Yeah, 3.
And now the other 3. So we're going to go with the first one. Is going to be in. Second one is in. And the last one is going to be in. All right, so at the beginning of the shooting phase, we're going to use Voice of Command onto the first non-shook guy back up over this way. He will be giving fixed bayonets, and then we're going to have Sir. He's going to spend 2 command points for Sir, yes, sir. So that's going to get everybody in here except for this lone one guy back over here. Putting my opponent back down to 1 CP because he's had the tactician, or not tactician, strategist specialism on his commander, which gives him +1 command point that he's been getting. So every turn. So he's been having 3 CP per turn because his leader's still alive and you get the 1. I'm at 1 CP because my leader was just slain. So pretty brutal. So we'll see how this goes. So we're going to go into punches now in the shooting phase. All right, so we're going to start with the guy who got the order there. So it's going to be into my flesh wounded guy. That is a hit. That is a wound. That is a save. Then we have another guy into the flesh wounded guy over here. That is not a hit. That. And now the Commissar also gets affected because Voice of Command with Sir, yes, sir affects all models other than the leader. And he's not a leader, he's a commander. So here he goes. His attacks are going to go into my guy over there. So that's going to be 2 hits. Strength, looking for 5s to wound. Getting 1 wound. AP -3, so it's going to be a 6-up armor save. Show me that Phil first. Yeah, with the Phil first. Woo! And now the other 3 into my commander, getting all hits, getting 1 wound with a save with the Phil face, and then the 2 into this guy over here.
Yeah, there's the 2 and the 3 guy.
Getting 1 hit, no wound. And then my readied guy is going to fire into his demolitions bro over there. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting no hits. All right, so now my guy back here is going to fire a bolt pistol into the back guy over here, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. That is not a wound. And my combat specialist is going to fire a bolt pistol. He's going to fire into this guy back over here. That is not a hit. All right, so that's going to be it for the shooting phase into the Hammer of Wrath phase. We've got his Commissar is going to attack first. That is going to be 2 hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds. Looking for Phil faces. Show me those Phil faces. No, so he takes 2 wounds. And now his other 3 guys that charged. Getting 2 hits.
Come on,
wounding on 5s.
Let's do it.
Don't do it. No, no wounds. Now my combat specialist is going to activate. He's going to put 1 into this, punch 1 into this guy, 1 into this guy. We'll do the 1 over here first. That's a hit. That is a wound. That is not a save. And he's out of action. And then the 1 punch into the guy back here. That is a hit. That is a wound. That is a save though. And the guy that he just punched is going to punch him right back over here, getting 1 hit, one punch. That is a hit.
1 punch.
But that is a wound. That is not a save. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. I've got my only command point for this turn. Oop. No, it goes through still.
+1.
And he's out of action. And then my guy here is going to go to the guy in the back over here. That is not a hit. And then one of these guys is going to attack over here. Nope, no hit. And now my champion is going to attack. He's going to put 2 attacks into the Commissar, 1 attack into each of these other guys over here. So we're going to do the 2 into the Commissar first, hitting on 2s. That is 2 hits, wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds, AP -2, so 5-up invul saves. No, they both go through.
Doesn't matter because they're 1 damage.
1 damage apiece, but they both go through, so he's down to 0. So let's see if he is. 1 second. So let's see if he is out of action. On a 4, he is. And then we'll do the 1 attack onto the guy over there. That is a hit with Death to the False Emperor. That is 2 hits. That is 1 wound, AP -2. Oh, just gonna go straight through. Is he out? He is. And then to the other guy. That is a hit. That is not a wound. And then the last guy over here into my guy. That is not a hit. And that is the end of turn 4 here. So the morale phase, we do have to take a morale test, break test. So I remove the shaken. We remove the shaken markers, but I think that's flesh wound up there. So we remove the shaken tokens from our dude bros, and then we roll to see who is broken. So we'll go with mine first here. So I've got leadership 8 on my commander, and they are good to go. And then my opponent has 7 left on his guy. 8, they are not, so they are broken. So 1 second. All right, so he is broken. We can't. We're just checking to see if you could re-roll it, but you can't re-roll break test. So I'm going to see if he is going to be nervous. So I've got 3 guys out. +6 he is. So he is still shaken, which is not great. So now my opponents are going to have. Well, you're going to have a lot of people here are going to have to roll because everyone has to roll once you're broken. Yeah. So we're going to start with. We're just looking for 1. So we'll start back over here. No, next guy. 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 No.
All right.
Leader. No. Demolitions. Yes! So the demolitions is good to go. So that is the end of turn 4. Let's roll to see if we go on to a turn 5. We don't. So that is the end of the game. We'll come back to you with the score. All right, so because I am the only non-broken army, I win by default. But points-wise, again, because all of these guys are shook, I control this objective. My guy's shook over here, so I don't control that one. And I killed his commander, which is a point for me. So a victory for the Chaos Space Marines. It looks like this planet will be the starting point for the fallen incursion into Imperial lands. So that was a ton of fun. It was crazy. Playing the Guard as that just like mass crazy charging army. It tied up like my entire army the entire time. And it was great how it worked really good. It worked really, really well until my champion decided that he was just angry and wanted to kill everything with his power axe when he got over there.
Plasma gun helped too.
Yeah, the plasma gun definitely killing the 2 plasma guns in that shooting phase definitely helped me a lot, because otherwise I think he would have been dead. Even though he just got shook for the rest of the game, it still made a difference. So, but yeah, a ton of fun. It was really cool to see it, and he also played it really well where he kept getting guys out that could, the very next turn could charge in, which kept me from shooting a lot of my pistols in combat for a lot of those turns, which makes a big difference, because if he wants to keep me tied up, and he had more bodies around the point back over here, so if he hadn't have broken there, it really could have come down to a victory for the Guard. If they hadn't broken, he probably would have had the victory there, which is, because he would have had the 2 points, or he would have tied. It would have been a lot closer, and we'll see what happened. But it was a really interesting, fun game. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek. As always, my opponent's been Harrison. Until next time, have fun.